Welcome back, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at continuing our simulation. In our previous video, we talked about the setup and getting just about all the mast components besides the fins laid out. Let's go ahead and take a look at our fins here. Our first, branching off point here will be whether or not you want to do traditional trapezoidal type wings. Cancel. Let me just click on body tube. Elliptical wings, which actually give us our best lift to drag distribution, or freeform in case we want to get creative. If you want to make tube fins, be my guest, but you're going to have to source your own tubes, and I wouldn't recommend it. So let's go ahead and start with freeform, just in case. All right. So when we are done adding our inner tube and centering rings and all that jazz, we may not have anything selected, and so we may not be able to select the fins. So if we click sustainer, you'll notice it doesn't let you do anything. You could add freeform fins, but you'll notice that it adds them to the nose cone. So if you wanted to, you could add some fins to the nose cone, but you'd have to find a way to attach them, and that's actually going to shift the the center of pressure forward, and that's not what we want. So let's actually delete that. But we could if we wanted to, if there was a reason. Oops, I duplicated it. For instance, if we were doing a controlled descent with a whole assembly, then steering through the nose might be something that we may want, kind of like the SpaceX, what is it called? Starship. Okay, so we really want to add the fins to the body tube, so we'll go ahead and click body tube, and then we're going to add the freeform wings. Alrighty, so the first thing you'll see here is it asking, how many fins do we want? We could do 3, 4, but you'll notice that the moment that we add fins, the center of pressure, that red dot, went from being all the way in the nose cone all the way to the back over here, stabilizing our design. That's what we want. Now, if we were to add a fourth fin, we'll notice that the center of pressure shifts ever so slightly back, but it's going to add a significant amount of weight, so unless we really care about that stability, it's not worth it. If this were a high-speed rocket that needed a lot of maneuverability, and these fins could turn or actuate, then we would want 4 fins just to give us better controllability. Okay, now they ask what kind of cross-section do we want? So we're going to be cutting these out of like rectangular pieces of wood, so it's going to be square. Now, I do recommend you round the edges to minimize drag and interference of flow, but for now, we'll just go ahead and leave it as square. They're going to ask us, where do you want to place these fins? If you wanted to, you can kind of put them a little bit further back over here, or move them forward, and so you can see that as you shift their location, the center of pressure also shifts. So we'll just leave it there. These are going to be made out of balsa, so I am going to change the material from cork to balsa. The finish, I'm not going to paint them, but I mean, if you if you wanted to, you can. I recommend it. It actually makes, it can make a significant difference in reducing the drag. Okay, fillet material. So if you were to fill in the material or the gaps between the fin and the body tube, that would be this stuff. So don't worry about that. Okay, so here is the shape for our freeform wing. At the end of the day, you can click on the line and add points to the fin. Just kind of make it do its own thing if you want, and so it updates it over here. You don't need to worry about fin tabs or overriding or appearances or anything like that. The important thing here is the shape. Now, from here, you're going to want to export the CSV. And it's going to ask you, where do you want to save this? So, I'll just go ahead and save this wherever, yada, 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 under teaching, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Don't do what I'm doing, but I'm just saving it like that. Okay, so there is that detail. We'll go ahead and pause recording here so that I can make trapezoidal fins, and then we'll continue with another video of us cleaning up the data and then opening in Fusion 360.